back to the special edition of EWTN News Nightly. Presidents of the United States routinely hold meetings with foreign allies. One of the most significant of those allies is the Holy See. And through the years, several presidents have met with popes to strengthen the bond between the United States and the Vatican. EWTN's Benedicte Cedergren has more.
U.S. presidents and popes share a historic relationship. The first diplomatic relations between the United States and the Papal States stretched back to 1848, long before Italy was unified as a nation. On January 4, 1919, President Woodrow Wilson became the first U.S. president to visit the Vatican in the aftermath of World War I. He arrived in a horse-drawn carriage and was met at the Bronze Gate of the city by Pope Benedict XV. Over the years, 6 popes have welcomed American presidents to the Vatican: Benedict XV, John XXIII, Paul VI, John Paul II, Benedict XVI, and Pope Francis. President John F. Kennedy, the first Catholic president, was received at the Vatican by Pope Paul VI on July 2, 1963. Kennedy was scheduled to meet with Pope John XXIII, but following his sudden passing, Paul VI honored the engagement. The Holy Father later spoke of the encounter, expressing his great hope in establishing contact with the American leader. Protestant Christian President Jimmy Carter had several meetings during his term in office with Pope John Paul II. In June 1980, the Holy Father welcomed President Jimmy Carter to the Vatican, where he urged the United States to remain committed to defending the dignity of all people. The two had met in Washington, D.C. just a few months earlier.
I am very happy to be able to reciprocate the warm welcome I received from you in Washington. The memories of my visit to the White House and of all my other contacts with the people of the United States are stored in my heart.
2 years later, it was a new president heading to the Vatican. President Ronald Reagan and First Lady Nancy traveled to meet with Pope John Paul II, where they discussed growing global tensions amid the Cold War and the dangers of communism.
I have had the great honor and pleasure and benefit of words of wisdom from His Holiness about the problems that concern us all in the world today and about our land. And I've had the great pleasure and hope that goes with it, that He will once again visit the United States.
In more recent history, Pope Benedict XVI met several times with President Barack Obama, often accompanied by First Lady Michelle Obama and their 2 daughters. Their first encounter took place at the Vatican in July of 2009, where they discussed global policy as well as sensitive topics such as abortion. Following President Donald Trump's election, he visited the Vatican during the first foreign trip of his presidency. In May of 2017, President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump met Pope Francis in a private audience. The Holy Father gifted the president an olive medallion saying, "I like that you are in union for peace," along with 3 encyclicals. Once President Joe Biden was sworn in, he became the second Catholic to hold the office. Pope Francis welcomed Biden to the Vatican ahead of the G20 summit in Rome in October 2021. The White House revealed the warm nature of this meeting. There was laughter and a clear rapport between President Biden and Pope Francis. From matters of faith and morality to international peace and diplomacy, these encounters between U.S. presidents and popes continue to shape the dialogue between the Holy See and the United States of America. In Rome, Benedicte Cedergren, EWTN News Nightly.